Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we're going to be continuing our top 25 stat series across the game, where we look at the top 25 strongest fighting kingdoms, or kingdoms that have accumulated the most amount of PvP points / merits thus far. Now, a few things I have to mention for the month of December 2023 here is that number one, this data was captured on December 13th. Number two, the data was captured over about an hour period between 21 and 22 UTC on the 13th. Number three, and as always, remember that any data or any numbers that you see after this video is released, numbers will most likely already be stronger or higher than what they were at the point of capture. Number four, if you are looking to get access to this sheet, we do have a public version of this, which you can get access to by joining the Discord. There's a link in the pinned comment description down below. You'll join the Discord. You'll head here to the reaction roll channel. Once you get here, you'll select Call the Dragons, which is the third one from the left. You will then open up, or if it doesn't already open for you, in the Call of Dragons category, you'll scroll down to where it says CoD Data Stats, and the very first one at the top is the public version that is accessible to everyone. This version is my master sheet that I use for myself, and then I port over the data 24 hours or a day after these top stat video releases. If not, around that, could be less as well. I think that covers all the goods. With that in mind, we're going to go ahead and show you now the top 25 strongest fighting kingdoms thus far. So here we go. And again, it's a big showing, pretty simple. And we'll go up, we'll do this bottom up as we usually do for these, and then I'll explain a little bit of what some of the new columns mean, which is really mainly the stage column. And I guess maybe I'll start off by just explaining that first. I don't really think it's that, not obvious, if you will. But I basically switch this between three areas: early, mid, and end. And this basically is splitting up the kingdom timeline between the first stage, the second stage, and the third stage, right? So if the kingdom is, let's say, right, average season, let's say, is 75, 80 days, right? So we're looking at about 25, right? So you can say the first 25 days I'll put for early, between 26 and 50, right, we would put mid, and then between 51 and 75, right? And bear in mind, there's some give and take margin here. I would put end, which means that KVK group, right, is about to end, or that kingdom is about to end its stage, right, for those ones. And I kind of color coded those just to make this a little easier to understand. Working our way bottom up, right, we have at number 25, SS2-4. They're in their early stage for their kingdom. This is comprised of 5, 24, 25, 40, 42, 75, 86, 87, 89. Maybe I'm not going to say all that, and I'll just say the server. You guys can obviously read as well here on the kingdom category. They came in at 449 million points here that had been accumulated thus far. And then the seventh is essentially just whatever the current number 7 alliance was ranked and how many points they had. Then we get to number 24, SS2-6. They're in their early stages. They came in at 459 million merit points thus far. Number 23, SS2-1. They're kind of midway through, and they came in at 480 million merit points. Number 22, S2-59. This is Season 2 Vanilla, right? Not to be mistaken with the SS's, that's Season 2 Plus. S2-59, they're about to finish their group. They're at 482 million merit points. Number 21, SS2-3, they're in the early stages, 486 million merit points. Number 20, SS2-5, early stages, 499 million merit points. We had number 19, SS2-2, they were in the early stages, 548 million merit points. We have at number 19, 267. They're about to finish their kingdom, and I want to point out they are the youngest kingdom on this board thus far. Bear in mind that these will change because most of the S2 plus kingdoms, the ones that are categorized as SS, are still in their very early stages, right? As we saw last season, where these kingdoms, basically the 1 through 90s, if you will, usually ended up having the most amount of points that were accumulated on these boards, right? Just a little piece of context there. Then we get to number 17, SS2-7. They came in at 605 million merit points so far, early stage. S2-62, they're midway through, 614 million merit points. Number 15, S2-61, they're halfway through, 637 million merit points. S2-56, they're about to finish up. They came in at 930 million merit points. S2-22, 959 million merit points. Then we have S2-60 for number 12. They came in just above a billion merit points at a billion and 1.009. We'll say that. Billion merit points might be easier to do it that way. Then we get to number 11, S257. They're about to finish theirs as well. 1.03 billion merit points. Then we get to number 10, S2-58. They're about to finish theirs as well. 1 point, you could argue 1.1, but 1.09 million merit points. Then we have number 9, S2-21, 1.25 million merit points, billion merit points. Number 8, S2-20, they're about to finish as well, 1.56 billion merit points. Number 7, S2-14, 1.57 billion merit points. Number 6, S2-18, 1.79 billion merit points. Then we get to the top 5. S2-19, number 5, 2.17 billion merit points, breaking that 2 billion merit point threshold. Then we get to number 4, S2-16, 2.2 billion merit points. Then we get to S2-17, 2.48 billion merit points. S2-13 at number 2, breaking the 3 billion merit point threshold at 3.01. And then we get to the number 1 most PvP accrued kingdom or group, which is S2-15. Again, they're 3.04 billion merit points. Now, also something to point out that I had just actually thought of as I was going through the numbers is that this also can be a good indicator when you're looking at the KVK groups or the kingdoms that have been fighting the most as a way to utilize that new spectating feature. And to give you an example on that, let's say that I wanted to go look at S2-15, right? So if I wanted to go look at S2-15, I would simply do something like this. I'd zoom all the way out. I'd go over to my kingdom, the globe there, bottom right. I would click on S2. And then we want to go look at, what was it? S2-15. Good. Short-term memory loss is kicking in hard. So we'll go S2-15. So that means we'll look at S2. We'll go all the way to 15, right? And we're already here. So I'll do S2-15. And then I think the number should switch, right? If I click on this, yeah, it does, top there. So S2-15, we'll go view, and it'll take us right there. And this is a great way where if you're trying to utilize this spreadsheet as a way to figure out, you know what, when boss comes out with these are groups I can go and take a look at, because there's a chance that there will probably be a little bit more fighting at these places than there would if I was just to kind of wait for something to happen, right? You can almost kind of save these and then check in on them intermittently, right, to see. So this, I actually think, is a good way to look at it. Now, bear in mind, usually if kingdoms are ending their stages, this can be more indicative, depending on how ending it is, on whether or not there is going to be a lot of PvP. I would argue that the PvP is more likely to be at the early and the mid-stage KVK groups because they really haven't climaxed yet at the final zone. So this is something that you may look at these and say, okay, right. And now one of the things I am thinking about, and let me know what you guys think about this one, is two things I'm thinking here. One, I'd like to potentially add in, leave the top 7 and 7th, but I'd like to add in 1 through 6 so I could show you what those numbers look like on merit points. Maybe even add in the alliances that have the amount and potentially their power. Like, that was something I was thinking about. And then number 2 is I was almost thinking about breaking this up and maybe just doing all of the groups, right? Obviously, it would take a little bit longer. I'd have to go beyond the top 25. So we may look at, for example, each group where I'd look at all the S2 plus kingdoms, we look at all the S2 kingdoms, and just kind of do it like that. Maybe include some season 1 kingdoms, possibly, but mainly do like the actual KVK groups themselves, even if it goes beyond 25. So let me know what you guys think about that. And if there's any other ideas on how to do this one, please feel free to let me know, right? I obviously want the information to be as helpful and as useful as it possibly can. So, even when I do these each month, I'm always trying to proactively think on what can I do, how can I add to it, how can I make it more digestible, but more importantly, right, how can I deliver the information, right? How can I have that be more appealing, if you will? So definitely let me know in the comments down below. That's going to be it for this one. As always, until next time, I will catch you later.